In the farmlands of Kansas, where the fields of golden wheat stretched farther than the eye could see, lived a 78-year-old widow named Margaret Hall. She was a woman carved by time itself, her hair silver like frost, her hands marked with the years of labor, and her back slightly bent. Yet there was a light in her eyes that no hardship had dimmed. To her neighbors, she was Grandma Hall, the gentle soul who always gave more than she kept. If a traveler came by hungry, she fed them. If a stray dog limped onto her porch, she nursed it back to health. Her farmhouse stood at the edge of a small town, a red barn beside it, and orchards of apple trees lining the gravel road. Margaret's life was simple, but she carried a faith that every living creature, no matter how fierce, understood kindness. She never imagined that one day this belief would be tested in a way the whole country would remember. If it was late summer when the news spread, Aline had escaped from a traveling circus that was passing through the country. The storm the night before had damaged the cages, and in the chaos, the great beast slipped onto the open countryside. Fear struck the town like lightning. Children were kept inside. Farmers carried shotguns, and the sheriff called for volunteers to form a search party. Neighbors visited Margaret's porch to warn her, "Stay indoors, ma'am," they urged. "That creature will tear you apart if it comes near." Margaret only smiled softly. "He's not evil," she replied. "He's lost, hungry, and afraid. Wouldn't you be if your home was taken from you?" Her calm words baffled everyone. She whispered she was foolish. Others said that she had lost her senses, but Margaret believed something they could not see, that even a lion king of predators could feel mercy if shown mercy. The evening came heavy with silence. The sun sank into the orange horizon, shadows stretching across the fields. Margaret carried a bowl of fresh milk from her kitchen and walked slowly to the edge of her yard. Her neighbors, peering from their windows, gasped in disbelief. From the tree line, the great lion emerged. His mane blazed in the fading light, his body rippled with the power, and his golden eyes locked onto the fragile figure of the older woman. The ground seemed to tremble under his paws. Margaret stopped. She placed the bowl on the grass, then slowly knelt. Her frail knees pressed into the earth. Her heart beat fast, but her voice was steady as she whispered, "You're not my enemy, you are just hungry." For a long, breathless moment, the lion stood still. The town seemed frozen in fear, and then, to everyone's astonishment, the beast lowered his head and began to drink. This sight left the villagers speechless. A predator that could kill with a swipe of his paw was bowing beside a grandmother offering milk. Margaret smiled softly, her wrinkles glowing with peace. She did not flinch, did not move back. She simply sat, watching him drink as though she were watching over a child. When the lion finished, he lifted his head and looked at her. The moment hung in silence. Margaret raised his trembling hand, not to push him away, but as if to bless him. The lion blinked slowly, then turned and walked back toward the wood. That night no harm came to the town. But the story did not end there. The lion returned the next evening and the one after that. Each time Margaret placed a bowl of milk on the grass, and each time he drank peacefully, never once raising a paw against her. Soon the villagers saw a patron. The lion who had terrified them now lingered calmly near Margaret's farmhouse, sometimes lying in the shade of her apple tree. As though guarding her, the sheriff lowered his rifle. Farmers who once cursed the beast now stood in awe. Children pressed against the windows, whispering that Grandma Hall had tamed the king of the wild. Word spread quickly. Reporters drove miles to see the old woman and her lion. Newspaper wrote, Kansas widow terms escaped circus line. Preachers spoke of it in sermons. Some called it a miracle, others called it madness, but Margaret herself only said one line, repeated again and again to those who asked for their secret. It was not a miracle, it was mercy. Her story touched a heart far beyond her little towns. Letters came from across America, from families who said they have learned to forgive, from children who said they were no longer afraid of what was different, and from men who admitted they now looked at animals and people with a new compassion. In time, the circus owners came to retrieve the lion, but when they saw how he lay peacefully at Margaret's porch, their hearts softened. Instead of forcing him back into a cage, they worked with animals centuries to find him a home where he could roam free, safe from harm. On the day he was taken, the lion paused at the edge of the woods, looked back at the Margaret, and let out a deep roar that echoed across the field to the townsfolk. It sounded like a farewell to Margaret. It was a thank you. She raised her hand and whispered, "Go in peace, my friend." Years later, Margaret's story was still told in schools, churches, and homes. She lived the rest of her days quietly, surrounded not by fear but by respect. The old widow and the lion became a legend not just in Kansas but across America. Her legacy was simple yet eternal. True courage is not found in fear or weapons, it is found in kindness, that kind that can often even the fiercest of hearts. And so the image of a frail grandmother kneeling before a lion, offering nothing but a bowl of milk and the strength of mercy, remained etched in history.